Hello, welcome back to another quick draft of War of the Spark. I did say that I was going to try and do this draft quite a bit. I love War of the Spark. A lot of people on stream like to see the Premier League, so it's looking like YouTube exclusives are where we're going to find War of the Spark. So thanks for coming back again, and we're just going to not dilly-dally and get right into it. I'm going to spend gold this time. We just have a ton of gold saved up. Alright, we're off to the races. Love Ashiok. I just love blue-black in general in this set. Soul Diviner, it's pretty medium in this set. There's a lot of ways to get +1/+1 counters on things, and there's of course a lot of Planeswalkers, so you can use it as a draw engine. But if you get the right Ashiok deck down, it's pretty backbreaking and very hard to beat. So I'm going to take Ashiok here, and also I'm just a sucker for mill. So, love me some Ashiok, love me some mill. Okay, let me get this pack. I definitely like the Gleaming Overseer. We've definitely done a draft very similar to this already, where it's just kind of big butts and blockers, and then mill plan to take them down. So, blue-black with Gleaming Overseer is fairly nice. It's a great way to get damage in by giving your amassed tokens menace. Outside of that, Cosmina's Transmutation is pretty strong. Teo can be great. Teo is fantastic in the Butts Matters Huatli decks, but we've done that. Of course, we've done this one too, so sometimes you just build the exact same decks and just whatever the cards bring you. I'm going to take Gleaming Overseer here and go on the kind of maybe a mass mill plan. Leonard's Triumph is very medium. A lot of these War of the Spark games get to board stalling, and they just have like a bunch of creatures, so it's decent if you get a lot of removal, but minimal otherwise. I guess the best cards in this pack outside of Leon's Triumph would be Dambreaker if we get a nice little Proliferate package. I don't want to throw us into a third color just yet. Not a lot of great fixing in this set, as we see one here, but it's a little bit risky to just simply take this and hope we find other fixing. So we're going to stick with blue-black for now. It's either going to be Dovin or Dambreaker here. With a lot of big butts, Dovin can be pretty good at just making sure our big booties are enough to block what can't kill them, and it just neutralizes the larger creatures. So I'll take Dovin's hand here and move ourselves into a little bit more of a controlling build. On this front, could take a Thunderdrake, just a decent flyer if you want to get with the damage, but since we're on the Ashiok plan, I kind of want to go a little bit deeper into that. So I think I'm going to take Sorin's Thirst here, just as a removal piece, just to stay alive. Everything else here seems kind of medium in our colors, so that'll be the plan. Now we're in this area. Total Invasion is pretty decent. 3 mana makes a 1/1, but also rips a card from your opponent's hand. You can definitely rip something that's very important. So it's either going to be this or Finisher, but I don't see ourselves doing a lot of damage, so I'll take the Total Invasion here. Now we have the simple 3 mana 3/2 Zombie Naga. We could find ourselves some Zombie Matters cards. We do not have any other. Well, we do have Gleaming Overseer, so we have that. Or we take Unlikely Aid. I think I'm fine taking Unlikely Aid here. I'm not sure we're necessarily going to play it, but it is a combat trick, so we'll do it. And then over here we have another Sorin's Thirst. We also have a Gateway Plaza, which is perfectly fine fixing, just in case we end up going into a third color, depending on, if we get like a bomb rare or something. So I think that I'm going to take Gateway Plaza here. I don't really want to go into a second Sorin's Thirst, because if we do end up going into third color, then the first Sorin's Thirst may not be good enough to play. Outside of that, Mayhem Devil's just a nice card, but not for the deck that we're building here. So let's take the Gateway. Then we have this pack. Nothing really fantastic here. We could take the Combat Celebrant, lean a little bit more towards Esper and see if we get some value out of that. Or we could just take Totally Lost and continue the control plan. I kind of like Totally Lost here. I'm going to try and stick with blue-black if we can. No escape. If we get enough counter spells, then we can make that pretty decent. 2 mana 2/2, or the 5 mana 5/4. Let's take the 2 mana 2/2 just to be a decent blocker before we slam one of our 3-drop planeswalkers. Don't think we'll play a second Unlikely Aid. I think with the deck that we're playing right now, we're more likely to go into white than we are into green. So I'll take Teo's Light Shield, put her on the sideboard, and see where we go from there. Because we do want to be defensive. Defensive is something we want to do. I mean, out of all of these, the Crocodile's most likely to be good enough to make the cut. Take that and... okay. So we might end up Sultai. Sultai's fine. Okay, so Butcher of Dreadhorde is really strong here. But Kaya is just fantastic. But also for him, the blue-white plan here, Lead Guard Mage is fantastic. Blocks well, blocks flyers, gains its life, and replaces itself. So if we are going into Esper, then Guard Mage might just be the pick. Kaya's really good, but since we might be splashing white, it may be difficult to cast. I'm going to take the Guard Mage here. It's just strong, and we could potentially twist ourselves into a Flyers deck if need be. Going into the second pack, of course. Haven't seen this action in a while. Choose up to 4 target cards in your graveyard. If you control a Bolas Planeswalker, return those cards to your hand. Otherwise, an opponent chooses 2 of them. Leave the chosen cards in the graveyard and put the rest into your hand. Exile. Seems medium. Seems medium. Rescuer Sphinx is pretty good. May end up just taking Rescuer Sphinx here. And since we are going into Esper, Sphinx can get in. We'll pull up our sideboard and we'll put Teo's Light Shield back in the main. Interesting. We could take another Teo's Light Shield. We could just take a Wanderer Strike. Wanderer Strike is pretty good. We're kind of on a controlling front. Though since it's common, it's more likely to come back around since we're drafting against bots. Although Narset most likely won't come back around. Oh, there's not a lot of wonderful hits we want to hit off of our Narset here, so it's kind of medium. I'll take the Wanderer's Strike here. It's just all around good. Maybe hope to wheel a Teo's Light Shield. So second Dovin. I'm not against that. Not against it at all. We could potentially see another No Escape, because we are going to be kind of creature light with this build. So having a No Escape might be good. But Dovin's Hand also just kind of helps us stay alive from the Ashiok Clan. Sadly, we haven't seen any other good mill or advantageous cards to go with Ashiok here. I like to see usually 2 payoffs if we want to go on that plan, but it's just an alternate. Aid of the Fallen is a way to get back our Ashiok and continue the mill plan. And so since we kind of want to do that, and that's kind of the fun we want to have, we'll take Aid of the Fallen here. Gets back one of our blockers, if it's one of our amassing creatures, then it gets back 2 creatures technically. So Aid of the Fallen seems fine. Another Toll of Invasion. Don't think I would play 2. Could see myself playing Crushed Descent. Could see us playing Lazatep's Plating. Yeah, I like Plating. It's kind of like a counterspell. Protects our creatures. Back in here, I like Cosmina's Transmutation. Again, we're just trying to stay alive, get to the late game. And that does pretty well. Turn their 5/5 into a 1/1. Nothing wrong with that. In the deck. But I'm just going to take the Rising Populace here, most likely not going to play it. Another Transmutation? Sure. Alright, Teo's Light Shield did come around. Don't see us playing Wyverns here. It does block well, and it is a 1-drop, which we don't have any of, but 1-drops in this set are not really necessary. So I don't mind Teos. Although, Wyverns is technically mana fixing. We want a Teo's Shield just to make a blocker better. I think I'll just take a Wyverns here, just because it's kind of like fixing. Outside of that, Tidebearer Giant could be decent. Where are we at on the curve? We don't have any 6-drops yet. It would be our curve topper. We are going to want to hit our land drop, so it's most likely that we do. It's a tricky one. I'll take the Wall of Runes. Yeah, just because it's kind of like mana fixing. Then we're over on this side. Guess we'll take another Soren's Thirst. Don't see us playing it though. How many creatures do we have? We might just take the Rising Populace to try and fill out our creatures. We have 6. We're definitely going to need more, so we'll take the Rising Populace. And we'll start prioritizing decent blockers. Like this one. Yeah, Spellkeeper weird. Consider sorceries that we kind of want to get back. Aid, it's another way to get Aid the Fallen back to continue the Ashiok plan. Don't see us playing Unlikely Aid. It's a way to get back Wonder Strike. It's a way to get back a counterspell. I'll take the weird. Blocks a little bit better. It's as if you put the +1/+1 counter on Tea's Shield with upside, so that's fine. And no escape. Well, when we're low on creatures, we just gotta keep countering theirs. So here we go on the control plan. It's decent. It's decent. Alright, now we're in this one. Oh man, that's sad. So, do we make that last second weave? We do have some green. Okay, so it enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counter equal to, enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counter on it for each loyalty counter on a planeswalker you control. Whenever one or more loyalty counters are put on a planeswalker you control, put that many +1/+1 counters on Bios Hydra. Now that is really good. And if we prioritize planeswalkers here, which right now we only have 2, is that right? So it seems maybe a bit too medium. We lose out on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spells, but we have the Crocodile return. We won't play Return to Nature. We'd have a Boreal Razor, which is decent. So we could potentially go into a Sultai list and then just start taking walkers when we can. This right here is a pretty strong beater and just all around great win condition. Let us think for a second here. Not really terribly worried about losing those, and all we lose is the Wander Strike. Sure, we'll weave here. So we'll put the white in the sideboard. We'll put a Boreal Razor and Crocodile on the main. Switch ourselves over to Sultai, and we'll take the Hydra here. So we've weaved into Sultai. On the Sultai front, we have great mana fixing and great blocker as well. It also gains us life, keeps us together. I like it. Cool card here, not playing red. Gideon's Triumph is also very strong. There's a chance that Centaur's Nurture comes back around, and this is just wonderful removal. Like, we are already low on creatures as it is, so it's nice to have a creature, but if you take a removal spell and you keep drawing removal spells, you just keep 1 for 1 of your opponent. Outside of that, Aiden Eternal's nice. So I'm going to take Gideon's Triumph here, and hope to wheel Aiden Eternal or the Nurturer. Oh, that's right! We're not playing white. That makes my decisions pretty easy here. I'm going to take the Nurturer for fixing's sake. Almost got it. Almost got me. Alright, this is a really nice Planeswalker, so we'll take it. Yep. Creates creatures too, so it's a double duty Planeswalker. In this one, proliferate's pretty decent, but we either need to take removal or Planeswalkers, and there is removal in this pack, so we're going to take the Transmutation. So what else we got here? Sadly, the Planeswalker here is outside of colors. Probably just another Transmutation here. Just keep them on the sorry your creatures aren't that great plan. Hey, a Huatli in our colors comes around. We have Wall of Runes. Spellkeeper weird. It gains life for us as well. Gleaming Overseer. The Nurturer. Kind of hard as the Crocodile, but yeah. So Planeswalker gains its life and has pretty good upside to most of our creatures. While we're on that front. So we could take the Snare Spinner here, or we could end up taking New Horizons. Gives counter and also has mana fixing. We are still fairly low on creatures, so I am going to have to take the Snare Spinner here, because there's a chance that we just get overrun, and that can be a problem. Snare Spinner also goes well with Huatli. 2/2 Death Touch is always annoying, so perfectly fine taking that there. Give us another creature. Could take another Croc. It's a pretty good threat. Once we have Huatli down, it's just a 3/3, but it's a 3/3 hexproof. Outside of that, creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain whenever this creature does combat damage to a player or planeswalker, destroy artifact or enchantment if any player controls. I'm going to see a lot of enchantments or artifacts that are going to be a real problem, so that's not necessary for the set. So I will just take... I'll take another Croc. Croc can be backbreaking if we remove enough of their stuff. This front, I don't think we want to go into the Gedfra statue plan. We're not really on the ping 'em out plan. We're kind of on just the stay alive, and if we get a Huatli, maybe deal damage to them. But Stinger or Vampire Opportunist here. I think we take the Opportunist. It's just another inevitability way to win, and it wins a little bit faster than the statue does. And we don't really have a lot of ramp to get us to 6 pretty quick, so Opportunist. This is just a fine 1/1. Gains us life, keeps us in it. And we'll take it. Chances are we're not going to play it. Another Grazer. A Grazer is really great with Huatli, and we'll put this in the sideboard. Okay, so this is the deck. I'm going to remove all the lands, and I keep this in the videos because I think it's very important. When you're constructing your deck, there's a good chance that you don't end up playing all the colors that you've taken or that are put in your deck, or perhaps while you were drafting you weren't putting cards in your sideboard, you were just throwing them around the deck. And so Arena just generates the lands that they think is best for the current deck in the build. It doesn't change the lands as you remove cards from your deck. So it's usually a safe and good thing to do if you haven't been careful and making sure during your draft to construct your deck. I usually like to draft and then construct afterwards. It's just my preference. It's best to just remove all the lands and construct your deck and then add the right number of lands, because who knows? I may end up cutting a color. We'll see. So I will cut it here and I'll get back to you guys when I have finished my deck. Alrighty, so this is the configuration that I ended up going with. I did trim a lot of the black, but not all of the black. I cut down on the Sorin's Thirst, mainly because the black right now has just become a splash, and so 2 black seems like a little bit difficult, and it's not the best removal that we have here. Most of our creatures have at least one power, besides our 1-drops, of course. But even with Huatli, those get stronger. So Kasmina's Transmutation seems to do a lot of work, especially the fact that it loses all abilities. Very useful. Kept all of the Planeswalkers that we have drafted in, not to mention, of course, the beautiful combo of Huatli into Bioessence Hydra. If you haven't taken down, then this becomes a 5-mana 11/11 trample. That Huatli can then immediately make you gain 11 life if you want to. Plus, since it's an 11/11, it doesn't matter if its power is high, its toughness high enough to take over. So this is the deck we ended up going with. Feel free to pause now and take a look at the list. I don't really have a need to go too deep into it. Yeah, so let's see how we do. Side note, I did end up keeping our land 17 alongside the Abarial Grazers. There was an idea that I could possibly remove 1 more card just to go up to 18 lands to ensure decent ramp if I do have the Abarial Grazer opening hand. But I figured that was just a little medium. Their high end is just 6-drop, and even if this just gets 1 land out sooner, we have a ton of 2 and 3 drops, so just being able to get 1 extra land on the field can really help us out. And then our late game is just tied up here. So that's the deck, and let's see how it do. Okay, so here's game 1. Opening hand seems pretty decent. We don't have black mana, but we do have enough mana to cast our Ashiok, and starting that off pretty early is nice, just to get most of their deck gone. Ashiok in and of itself is kind of like removal if you mill over their best cards, hoping that they don't have ways to recur them, of course. Outside of that, we do have a decent removal piece to slow them down if they have a crazy start, and we do get to go first, so I will keep this hand, and we'll hope to draw into some goodies, like an Arboreal Razor. That'd be nice. So we will start with an island. See what happens here. Big shout out to Pit Fighter. So you have black. So black has recursion effects, so we kind of want to mill over the recursion effects. Black blue. Okay, so we have a similar plan going here. At this point, I don't want to just simply play out Ashiok here, because it's just going to end up dying very quickly. We could take Dovin here, cut them off of their next spell just in case it was an instant or sorcery or artifact, and then just neutralize this Opportunist for a little bit. And I like doing that more than playing the Transmutation. So this into this can potentially make sure that Ashiok sticks and does some work. So we'll play an island here, we'll throw out Dovin, and we'll take down.
I will gladly point out your intent. I'm well equipped to deal with nuisances.
See what they do. While our opponent is deep in the thinker, let me know how your days have been going. They have been very exhausted as of late, and have needed a lot of caffeine to keep kicking. We got our swamp finally, so we got Grixis v Sultai here. In this instance, I'm not at the opportunity to throw it on Ashiok just yet because they did play another Vampire Opportunist. However, we can play our own Vampire Opportunist. I'm still going to hold the Transmutation here because if they offer the trade, I will just take it. So we're just going to do this and continue on the Dovin plan, neutering the old one, and we'll pass it back. This is a trade that I would like to take. Now, I know this doesn't have caffeine, but I'm tricking my brain into thinking it does since I've had so much caffeine as it is, and I'm still tired, but I'm enjoying a small can of LaCroix. Interesting choice here. They might have a trick. They might maybe think that I forgot that I made this do no damage. Could have been just hoping I made an accident. Ooh. So they're probably going to take Ashiok here. So that's sad. And now we don't really have much to do. Luckily they did have the 4th mana to cast the Invasion here. So we will continue to play lands, and now we just need to draw into some goodies. And we'll keep doing what we've been doing. End turn. If anything at all, Dovin is just giving us time to draw into our better spells. No effects. Leave back the blockers in case we have a hasty dude. We did end up taking out our hasty dude. Oh, this is nice. Perfect. So we'll play the Spinneret here. And there's no need to tick down Dovin in this instant because he's most likely going to die next turn anyway, but our opponent's going to have to lose a creature to make sure that that happens. And we'll just keep him on there as a tempo piece. Yeah, sure, I'll pay. So they're getting to amass 2, which kind of sucks, because now they have something that is big enough to get over our spider, and it doesn't have flying, so... Womp womp. Transmutation does not do anything good here, it just turns us into a 4/4. So... we'll just simply play out a land here, and no need to tick down. We'll either end up taking 3 here, or they'll just get Dovin off the field. Yeah, thinking about it. Yep, that's perfectly fine. So by not taking down there, all we did was just make them remember not to cast spells in advance. Ooh. Well, that's a good enough spell to transmutate. So we'll go ahead and do that now just to turn this into a 1/1, and now they just have a pretty strong zombie army, that's all. And we are just flooding out. No attacks. Opponent still also has 2 cards in hand, and we're on a clock. No blocks. You need to draw something here. They still have gas? Y'all still got gas in your tank? We're running low. Aid the Fallen is nice. Yeah. So, this is a thinker. Pretty sure we end up just getting Dovin here over Ashiok. Let's look at their deck. 27 cards. However, Ashiok will tick down to 4, and then we'll either have to sacrifice one of the creatures we just played. So I think what the best plan here is to, since we have enough mana now, let's get back Dovin and Opportunist and start cranking out Opportunist while making sure that their 4/4 can't do any damage. So make sure we have enough mana. Choose both. We're going to take Opportunist and we're going to take Dovin. They have a counterspell? That'd be pretty sad. Okay. Yes. We will start by playing the Dovin, because that is the one that we want to counter the least if they have another Crushing Descent. Perfect. And I don't think there's anything in this set that mana tithes, so I do want to hold this land in hand, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we already have the mana necessary to activate out the Tunist. So yeah, so we'll just play the Tunist. They definitely have something, because it is, unless they have like a full control on, it is making them pass phases. So very interesting. Okay, so it's just the Opportunist that's passing through the phases. Alright, and no attacks. End turn. LaCroix. It's not great. It is not great, but it's fine. Well, they did have something. They're just saving their Opportunist damage. Alright, well, we will continue to crank this here. And we will leave up our Opportunist. If we had 8 mana, we would consider playing this to Lazotop's Plating as well. We do have the opportunity to just sacrifice a bunch of stuff on this Dread Malkin, though. It's pretty spooky. Especially they're probably going to hit the Dam Breaker here. So Dread Malkin might do some work. We've definitely been on the back foot for a lot of this game. Definitely have. I'm assuming they're just going to Dread Malkin their Dam Breaker. That's what I would do. Yep. And nothing we can do about that. Resolves. Yeah, Dread Malkin gets in at Dovin here if we end up blocking. They have enough mana to sacrifice 2 different creatures, turning this into a 7/7. It's going to be a problem. Might just be a grindy, slow death. If they end up attacking Dovin here, we're going to have to just allow it. Yep. No blocks. Bye-bye, Dovin. You gained us some life. And now we just go back and forth on the Vampire Opportunists here. Croc is nice. It's a bunch of Croc, and we can leave up Plating as well. So let's throw out the Croc. And then we'll pass the turn. They're going to activate their Opportunist most likely here. They don't. That is odd. And I'm very thankful for it. Very thankful. Looks like our opponent is in silver, so they may be new to the format. But that's okay. They're beating me, so. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Oh no. Yeah, we'll have to do this now. Still have enough to activate the Dread Malkin here once. Assuming they get in. Yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay. They're going to sacrifice one of these creatures. I'm assuming they're going to end up sacrificing the Strix here, because they're probably going to want to get both of these creatures off the field. And they can't sacrifice this and do that still, so I'm guessing that's how that's going to play out. And we'll end up taking 5 here. But at least we kind of cleaned the board up a little bit. And they may just decide to let the trades happen. That's fair. Okay. Well. Nice but not great. Nice but not great. We could play this out just as a 4-4. Which, technically, these both do trade with the Malkin if they don't draw anything. But I'm going to give it another turn, because if we draw ourselves a Planeswalker, this Bioessence Hydra just gets so much better, and this turn we could potentially take 5, but we gain 2, so we go up to take 3 damage, but this would make another, so we take 5, so 5 damage total puts us at 8. I'm not really worried about that. 7 mana, this would make 8 mana so that we could play a Planeswalker and Bioessence Hydra, since most of our walkers cost 3, except for one of them. So there's no need to play this land right now, because if we draw a land, then we'll just end up playing that. So we're just going to pass a turn with our Opportunist. End the turn. And if they do attack with their Opportunist, then we'll offer the trade, and at that point they'll either make their Dread Malkin bigger, or just play another creature. Oof. They also have some pretty good instants and sorceries in their yard. They could end up getting back Toll of Invasion and take our Bioessence Hydra. So they also have enough mana to, let's see here. They have enough mana to leave up their 4 mana counter spell. They do not. So we'll offer the trade here. Whoop. See what they do. So they send it back to us, so we'll activate our Opportunist here. They do offer the trade. Okay. Okay. I don't know what the right thing to play here is for them or what their exact plan is, but I think I might have spun the Keeper here to get the hand rip. But because I can't risk them doing that next turn. Do they have any removal spells at instant or sorcery speed in their yard? I didn't see any. So perhaps next turn they just get to invade the city, although that's not going to do much for them. Makes it 2/2. So they don't really have a lot of great things to get back. Next turn they might end up just leaving up the mana for a 6 mana counterspell by sacrificing a creature. So we'll just have to play out the Bioessence Hydra here. And since we did draw another land, we will throw out a land. We have enough black, so we'll just play the green. Sad thing is here, we can't block if they attack with the Dread Malkin. 1, because they have Menace, and 2, because they could just sack a creature. That's going to help them get more instants and sorceries. Or perhaps another Planeswalker. Oof. Oof. Pretty cool if they end up targeting their Dread Malkin here and send it back to being a 2/2. That would be pretty nice. Again, they don't have enough mana left over to counter spell, so that's pretty nice. Play a Centaur, gain some life back, and now we can successfully block the Dread Malkin here. I wish this had Vigilance, but it does not. No, because they just block and blink. So, no attacks. Perhaps they block their weird, blink their weird here, just to get it bigger? No. Okay, they're going to use it. Okay, it's interesting. It's interesting indeed. So they're going to sacrifice their 1/4 to make a 2/3? Or a 2/2? Potentially 3/3? So they did get the Soul Diviner too. They just decided to take the Soul Diviner. Interesting as it is we saw a lot of these cards. We just decided to take Ashiok. And sadly, we did not draw great, or specifically pack into great draws. So this setup seems really strong. We will end up getting rid of the Nurturer here. Now they can use Soul Diviner next turn to just get some value, last minute value out of their Narset, because not a lot of people play things that draw them cards. Oh my goodness, and they can also remove counters from their Dread Malkin here. We'll force the issue now. So this will turn this into just a plain 3/3, and if they do decide to sacrifice their Diviner, then it'll turn it into a plain 5/5. So that still gets over a Hydra, but then it makes it so they don't have this, but they do have the Time Twist, so they can just kind of counter it. So not in a good spot, but it would remove a counter from the Dread Malkin anyway, so it makes it smaller. So deal. All this simply does is remove a counter from the Dread Malkin, or turn it into a 5/5, their choice. Make it a 2/2 or a 5/5. They're making it a 2/2. Okay. So that stems the bleeding a little bit. And I will just kill Narset here, just so that they can't get some value out of it. Taking 4 here. We need to draw something. Mm-hmm. Yes, sirree. Well, you're a little late to the party, ain't ya? Let's see here. Sacrifice for 6. Yeah, they just have lethal. So, they got game 1. Did not draw too well. Ended up flooding out a little bit, and didn't see what the deck was really trying to do there. Alright, back with game 2 here on that 0-1, try to climb that X1 train. We have all of our mana here. We're not going to be doing anything until turn 3, but on turn 3 we have fine plays and a top-end walker here. So this is fine, and we get to go first, so I will keep. This has everything that we would consider necessary for a hand to be fantastic. Get off of the swamp with the fear in him. Ashiok, it's a pretty nice thing to see. Plaza. Next turn we'll go into Weird, most likely. They did not play a creature, so I'm just going to throw out Ashiok here and start the mill plan. And then we'll start playing great blockers. We should be able to get 20 cards out of their library. So we're on here. I always forget I gotta click on the exile. So they're on the burn plan. Pretty interesting. I did make a pretty interesting burn deck. I'll be posting that video soon enough as well. Spark Reaver, nice. Do have to play a blocker here. We'll play the Gorge. I could play the Spider and Transmutation just to kind of make this thing do nothing. Turn it into a 1/1. I like that. That's perfectly fine. Although we could potentially just save it for something that we can't block with our Duders. I like that too. We'll just play the Weird here. Solid red-black value deck here. See if we can keep drawing lands. They do hit their 4th land. What do they do with it? Do they play a 1/1 with no abilities? Let's see. Definitely thinking about it. No. Okay, that's sad. Probably just gonna keep. We'll keep the counterspell here and Arlen, and we'll say bye-bye to these two guys because this gives us nice value and we can keep on this plan. So that's fine. That's sad, but fine. Play will block. Grazer's cool. Don't have a land to play off of it, but I will just throw it out there as a blocker. And we still get to leave up no escape. Beautiful Vraska. Beautiful Vraska. see what our opponent's doing here. Pretty interesting. Sure, I'll get in there for one. And I'm gonna counter whatever creature they play. And if they do attack in and have a additional way to deal with the Grazer, then that's sad. Might get punished for being a little aggressive, but we're gonna find out here shortly. Play a 5-drop creature. Don't play a deal 3 damage to target creature spell. That is a way to play a creature to get around no escape. Okie dokie. Got a Sorin's Thirst, maybe? Yep. Well, haha. Checkmate. Keep the mill plan going. Down to 10 cards in their library, and we have a fine little defense here. No attacks. Just kill whatever, or counter whatever creature they wish to play next, and hopefully scry ourselves into a land. Well, they saved some cards in their library. They're gonna have a few more turns. Look at them playing non-creatures. Look at them. Look at them. They take Arlinn here and then next level. Next level. Yeah, they're still going in with the attacks. Well, they know what we got. Do we have any instant, no attacks. Do we have any Instant of Swords from your graveyard we just kind of want to get back? Not yet. If only this could get back Planeswalkers too, then that would be insane. Well, there's no time like the present. We might have a better creature here, but we need to scry into something good. That's not something good. That would have been the 6th land for Arlinn had they not made us discard, but let's see what they got. Oh, Reaver. Okay. So they are going to start getting in for some damage here. Next turn. But just one. Opponent's always like, maybe get in this time. Could potentially sacrifice here to get a no escape back, but we can do that at any time. Perfectly fine with that. An additional blocker gains us some life, keeps us alive because they're on an 8-turn clock. And this is why I like the mill plan, because this happens a lot in War of the Spark. You just get into a board stall state. And Boreal Grazer has reach, so they're still only getting in for 1. So we're on a 21-turn clock, they're on a 7-turn clock. And it'll be even faster if we draw 8 of the Fallen. And that's just the power of Ashiok. She's just strong. We just keep the blockers coming. Pass turn. No attacks. And we're setting up a pretty nice team here if and when we do draw Huatley. Opponent down to 6. I will call the bluff here. did seem like they were playing Burn Sacrifice a little bit. Okay, so they do not control a creature with power 4 or greater, so nothing happens. You just played a big 4/3 that can block my flyers. Hey! Speak of the what? No need to gain life right now. Also, no need to get in for damage, so we just made better blockers, is what we did. Just keep her high. Opponent is down to 5 cards in their library. See what they do. They're riding it out. They're riding it out, so they must have something. And there it is. And so that is the power of Mill. So I'll see you guys in game 3. Okay, back here with game 3. We are 1-1. This hand is pretty interesting. We do have something to play on turn 2, so we have the mana to help us just kind of survive. We're on the play, so it's pretty interesting. We have the mana for a lot of the cards in our hand. We just need to draw the lands, which is just true about pretty much any hand you keep, for the most part. We're going to try this. We're going to try this on the power of a defensive spinner here, and hopefully draw a land to get us into Huatli, and hopefully the land we draw is blue. I've seen it a ton of times on Arena where people just go 1-2 into their 3rd color, so let's hope that Arena is nice to us as well, because we have some pretty cool 3-drops, and backside Gator if they decide to kill our Huatli. So, keep. Risky, but we're here for risky. Gotta do it. So out the green. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, deck. Give me a land. Any land. Any land. Okay, we'll take it. We're on a beat plan. Let's get in there for 3.
I have come to help.
Still would like more land, but at least now we're able to do things. Alright. Stinger. Just an annoying blocker. Let's get in there. Keeping Huatli high. Aw, I killed our Stinger. But that's fine. It's an interesting use of a really good removal spell. End turn. Assuming they're going to hit Huatli here. Though next turn we can just transmute it, put her on the ground. And that'd be great if we draw another land. So let's... Oh, we don't have blue mana! No! Alright, so we can't block here, so they're just going to continue to deal damage to Huatli. We're also not going to tick down, just so we have an extra turn with her. But I'm pretty sure there's nothing we can do with our mana. So, yep. We do need to draw another source. And now we're back to any land will do. Any land will do here. Put Huatli to 3, then Huatli has gained us 4 life. Pretty cool. I don't remember this guy. It's pretty interesting. The Death Touch Giver. No! Deck, why do you gotta do this to me, Deck? Why do you gotta do this to me? Most likely they end up getting win with both of these to kill Huatli, which essentially gains us 3 life, where Huatli would only gain us 2, so... No attacks. And no use of Huatli, because we gain more life by not taking Huatli down. So game 1, we got really flooded. Game 2, we got the sweet mill. Now here on game 3, We're getting mana screwed. No attacks. End turn. Man, Cosmina's so good.
Listen up, Linux.
So good.
Join my cause.
And we're just spinning out of control here. Just spinning. I'll just block like this. Gives us another turn with Huatli. And they would just continue to get in with it, so. Next turn they can only attack with their Shrieker. And Centaur blocks nicely these guys, and then Huatli will die and we can throw out the Crocodile. Either that, or we can just start transmuting things. But most likely they fly in here and kill Huatli, and then we play the Croc. Hopefully draw a land and play the Croc. Even more specifically, hopefully we draw a blue land and play the Croc. Opponent just having everything, ain't they? Well, at least we gained 3 life. Now stop it. Stop drawing well while we draw poorly. Come on! Man, we are so far behind. So far. Well, at least. Oh my goodness. Don't even have enough to play our crocodiles now. So we could turn one of these into a 1/1, but we'd have to tap our best blocker here. Next turn they get in, we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down to 7. No, my goodness. Oh boy. We drop to 5 here. Mana screwed into the Godfrey statue. We have to tap our Centaur to cast this too. Oh my goodness. So next turn we just simply take 5 instead. So yeah, we're dead. Me oh my oh. Rough beats there. Alright, so that'll be a loss. Man, Mana screw into the Pharaoh. What a punish. Alright, here we are with game 4. 1 and 2. 2 unfortunate games and 1 pretty fun one. Here to hope that we don't get mana screwed again. We have 3 lands this time instead of 2, so it's a little bit nicer. We have spells to cast on turn 2 and turn 3. We're going first again. We've gone first quite a bit, so at least we have that on our side. This hand seems fine. All we need to do is just find our black, and we'll see what we can do from there. Definitely don't want to mulligan this. This has everything that's fine enough. So we'll keep this and hope for better mana running this time. No flood, no screw, just right down the middle. It's a decent start. Decent start. Because we do need to get 6 so we can get up to Arlen here. And Arlen's a beefcake. We can also work our way towards a Croc. Play Dovin here. Hopefully they're playing a lot of instants and sorcery in their blue-red deck. Since we might be on the damage plan, might as well get in for 1 while we can. Yeah. Ooh. So they do have a non-creature plan, perhaps. They don't really have anything out that really matters with proliferation, and so I'm going to hold on to the transmutation until I find a issue with something that needs to be proliferated onto. We do have good fixing. We could tick down just in case they end up killing our Spinneret here, but I will gamble under instead of over, because if we gamble under, we don't tick down at all, they kill this, and they deal 2 damage. Gamble over, we tick down 1. So I'm going to say no tick down and risk losing 2 instead of just tick down 1. So we'll play the gamble game. No tick downs. And hope that it pays off and they don't have a removal spell for our spider. They have a flyer that can get +1/+1 counters on it, but we are going to transmute that so that it doesn't get +1/+1 counters on it when they play non-creature spells. So let's put that thing on the ground. And then again, we're not going to tick down here. Same purpose, our spider can block here. If we do tick down on this thing, it loses 1 anyway. But there's a risk that they just kill our spider. And it takes 3. So we either -1 to make sure it only at most can take 1, or we don't minus down and it could potentially take 3. So the under is we could lose 3 counters on our guy. The over is just 1, so at this point I will now... I'm going to keep on gambling. I'm going to gamble on it. I'm going to gamble they don't have a removal spell for our Snare Spinner. No attack. By doing so, he still only goes down 1. And if he's only going to go down 1, I'd rather them attack. And I would let him go down 2 to block and kill a creature. They're on Jeskai, so they do have their 3rd color. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Pretty interesting. Did not see that one coming. So now that it's got counters on it, we are going to make it not be able to do that anymore. We will play the Grazer here. No land target here, and we will tick down to 1 here, just to give us the most time. No attacks. Okay, so I have a nice little spell slinging deck here. And then at this point, we're just going to let them attack into our Dovin, because it's better that way. And we have a counterspell for the creature, hopefully to scry us into a black or green source, or black or land. Most likely, if it's a land, I'll just keep it on top to help get to Arlen. So we will just pass the turn. No attacks. Then turn. Pretty interesting. So, where are they? So they are attacking me here. I'm fine with just taking 3. Kind of surprised that they didn't get in with all of these, because sure they would lose their Channeler, but it's just a 1/1 at this point, and so they trade their Channeler for our Dovin. So interesting situation. No blocks here. Let's see what they got going on. Whatever it is, it's going to cost 1 more. Unless it's a flash creature. Which I'm not even sure there are flash creatures in War of the Spark. I'm honestly kind of surprised that they didn't make a flash Planeswalker. Interesting. Of course, you can't use a Planeswalker on your opponent's turn unless you have special effects. But it's still a kind of way to leave a counterspell, and if they, don't have something you want to counter, then you just throw in a Planeswalker, and then you have your mana still open for your next turn. You just take 3 here. They didn't play a creature, so we're just leaving up no escape here. Kind of just sitting on the same thing, and we have a little bit of mana screw happening again. 17 lands in the deck. And we're either drawing all of them or none of them. So they love in the proliferator plan here, but we're going to counter that. And scry. Black source. It is a land, so we are just going to keep it on top because we can start throwing down crocodiles, which we will most likely just end up blocking the Thunderdrake with a crocodile because we have another. And if we draw another land on top of that, then we can start putting out 3/3 wolves, and that'll be pretty nice. So we want to hope for our top land being a land. Top land. Our top card being a land. That's what we want to hope for. Of course, this is a way that they can make sure that our top card is not a land. Oh, they decided to get back their stealth mission. Interesting. Okay, and they get back the total loss. Perfectly fine. No attacks. End turn. Question is here, do they end up totally losing their Drake? Just so that they can get the Kasminas off and start doing tricks? No. Interesting. I will block here. Oh, it makes it unblockable. Right. Alright, so we did get a land here, so that's pretty nice. Sure. Play out the island here. Make a 3/3. No effects. End turn. So now they could potentially totally lose our Croc and then get in for 5. Okay, they just use it as a removal spell to get rid of the wolf. Okay, that's fine. Do they offer the trade? They do offer the trade. Okay, so we are down to 9. So I'm going to kill the Gorger now while we can and just chump this, and we will play another Croc to deal with this, because there's a chance that they could cast a spell here and another spell get up to 6 toughness. So let's block here and block here. We'll block like that. We're on the back foot, but we do have a pretty solid board state. Interesting. Very interesting. So we have 6 mana, so we could play 2 creatures or 1. And playing 2 creatures now means that next turn we can leave up a counterspell, perhaps. But I think we need to get the Thunderdrake off the field. So we're going to play Croc here and make a wolf. So I'm fine with that. There's no need to fake mana here. Not going to get in with a spider. Not just yet. We're going to play extra safe. We are close to potentially turning the corner here. We just got to be cautious. Okay. Can be a thorn in our side. We do have the spider. But they got to cast 2 spells to get a +1/+1 counter on it. I'm just going to play 2 creatures. They're on the Thunderdrake plan. And they'll have to play 2 spells to get through my spider without losing their Drake. Yep. And then next turn we can decide whether or not to play Centaur Nurturer or leave up Counterspell. All depends on what they do this turn. If they don't play anything, they just kind of just attack. Like hold a spell in their hand just on the off chance that they draw another one next turn so they can get a counter on Drake. Then I will most likely just leave up Counterspell. Okay. Yeah, so that's most likely going to be the plan. Let's see how much mana we have. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 4. So, nope, we're going to leave up Counterspell here. I could get in with the Croc, because we do need to start applying some pressure here. And I think that is what we're going to do. We will offer the trade of the Thunderdrake here. do have 20 cards, so we could draw an Ashiok here and hopefully speed up that, but we have 2 decent blockers for the Drake here, and I'm just going to leave up the counterspell. Hopefully that their plan is creature-based. I can easily find another spell, so yeah, we'll crack it here. Counter that and scry into something goody. Grazer, not that great right now. It's an additional blocker to the Drake, but we need to find... we need to shut something down. Okay. So that was pretty good. They get in for 3 here. That's fine for now. We'll drop to 6. Go back up to 9. And we'll get him with the Croc again. Much more happier with a clean board here, so this is a trade that I'm okay with. And now we're both at 9. And we have more transmutations. We'll take it here. Opportunist is also pretty nice. So 7, 8, no need to play... Well, yeah. So we can play Opportunist, and if we play the land, we leave up an activation. So let's get in with our Croc. They stem a little bit. We will play a land and an Opportunist, and we still have enough with a Centaur here to activate our Opportunist. So end turn. Now they're hitting us for 2 a turn, or 3 a turn, but we're gaining 2, so they're only hitting us for 1. So we will activate our Opportunist here, and no blocks. They're going to mass 3, that's fine. Yep, we have enough mana to wall overruns here, scry into something. We do not want the island. So now I have a 3/3 to block the Croc, so it's not fantastic to get in with it. I believe we just leave up blockers here. And leave up our Opportunist, so... no attacks. End turn. So they're hitting us for 1 a turn, we're hitting them for 2. If they draw a removal spell, then we're back on the things are kind of scary plan. And we'll need to find an answer for this Drake. Okay, so you end up just killing the wolf, that's fine. Turn this guy into a 4/4. Interesting to not get in with it. Activate the Opportunist, we have no cards in hand, so there's no secrets. We'll take 3. Really drawing a lot of lands here. Really drawing a lot of lands. We'll keep this in hand as a little surprise, see what they do. No attacks. End turn. And I think this time we are going to end up blocking here. The reason we didn't just swing out there and punch through 3 little 1/1 damages and hope to get there with our Opportunist is because if they have a single removal spell in their hand, then they kill us on the backswing. So I will block with the Spider here, just in case they have ability to give their Thunder Drake here double strike. Just playing cautious. I will activate the Opportunist. And now I will get in with everything. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Alright, we're in that X2 train. So we're 2-2. And I will see you guys in game 5. See how far we can push this. Alright, back here with game 5. Another hand with very low mana. Although if we do draw land, we will get to play a 3-drop on turn 2. Which is not a fantastic 3-drop. Our opponent is going first, so we are going to get to draw an additional card. So, does this hand with another land work? We can cast everything except for these two. So we at least have spells to play, and they both block well. So, is it better to go to 6? I'm a gambling man. And this hand has some good stuff. All we need to do is just draw a land, and it is the 3rd color. Feels good. Alright, so we'll get to Grazer here, and we'll save the blue. And so next turn we can go into Stinger, red-black. Reaver, rather. Reaver's really good. Okay, so we're drawing into our lands, that's nice. So next turn we'll be able to play 2/2 drops. Then we have good blockers. Could be a problem. We'll save Dovin. We'll just keep going wide. Now we gotta do is find something to punch through with, or just get ourselves to 7 mana pretty quick, so that's pretty cool. We'll throw down Dovin. No need to activate him, he's just there to tax our opponent, and there's nothing here that's fantastic enough to get Kasmita's Transmutation. Some action. This could be potentially backbreaking, but I'll let him get a bunch of scries out of it and then die to my Stinger. If they end up killing our Stinger and then going off with it, then I'll feel pretty sad. But let's just work our way towards 7 mana. We're getting close. And then we just stall out and Opportunist kill him. No effects. And no attacks. Glad that we at least drew some lands. So if this game ends up not being in our favor, we at least drew lands this game. We at least did not get stuck. We did not necessarily get screwed. We would like one more mana, just to get the value out of the Opportunist here, but no attacks and no nothing. Send it back. See what our opponent is brewing up here. They are hitting their mana, so they do have 6. And they have a stop on our end step, or they have an instant they might want to play. We will see. We will see as we rock. Okay, so they want to get rid of our Stinger here. They're going to try and start pushing through some damage. Glad that they did that on on our end step, so that they don't get the power boost from the Prophet. Really interesting that they didn't use that on the Opportunist, since that is kind of our plan. Don't think this is worthy of the Transmutation just yet, because we have 2 good blockers for it. The only thing that's really worthy of Transmutation here is the Burning Prophet. But I'm not too terribly worried about it yet, because they scry themselves into a good creature and then we just neuter it. And hopefully they're not scrying themselves into like a good Planeswalker or something. So we're going to just send it back and leave up Opportunist beats. Or more activations, rather. And Crocodile right now is just a fantastic blocker that has hexproof. So 10 turn clock, opponent. Really? This is interesting. So they must have more removal, because the Opportunist here is just breaking through. I guess they're just trying to get rid of our good blockers.
So interesting. I guess now we don't have an activation of Opportunist. They did hit a good walker, so they are going to be able to make a death touching creature, which is annoying, but it's only getting in for 1 damage. But if it does get in for damage, it gets bigger. Alright, that's worth the ticks for now, until we find an answer for Vraska. We'll just do that, and leave up the Opportunist. Otherwise, Vraska just ends up killing 2 of our creatures. She only gets to make 1 more. And I guess we could use a Transmutation to make it lose all abilities? And we'll continue the Drain plan. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sucky. We'll leave up an activation and we'll continue the down tick.
The vault is not in our stars, but in our service.
Really wish this could hit walkers too. No attacks. End turn. We'll keep activating this up. We'll hope to draw another land so that we can make them not have a better thingy here. Oh boy. Sorry, Spider. You fought a noble cause. Pretty sad, but that's where we're at. At least now it doesn't have Death Touch. Nothing else here has Death Touch, right? Okay. Block. Block. We'll make him do it. We'll end up losing, yeah, let's do it now. We end up blocking there. No Dovin ticks. We'll make them swing all out at Dovin in order to kill him, and then we can kill 2 of their creatures and just start stemming the blood. We need to draw something, though. We need to draw something. Our back foot's gonna get really strong for being on it so much. Oh, that's so good. Interesting, interesting play there, but it works. And definitely get in. I mean, all you have to do is get in with 2 more creatures. Keeping Dovin around. Interesting. Let me draw another land. Oh man, yeah. So that was the card that they needed to just stem the slow whittle down. But now we need to draw something bad. We need to draw something bad. Dovin's gonna die, but at least we gain 2 life out of it. So we're just gonna keep our life total as high as possible to keep digging. Just gonna keep digging here. You know, if they do play another Death Touch creature, then things get a little bit more scary. That's also pretty bad. So bye-bye Dovin. Dovin down. No blocks.
Not to be repeated.
Okay, that's cool at least. Boy, am I glad this guy's got reach. Could have potentially got him with the croc, but he's at least keeping people from attacking on the ground. So we got another bog stall going here, and we keep drawing lands. Man. No attacks. See who draws out of it first. This is another reason why Ashiok is so good. Oh, man. Oh. Alright, so they have a creature to kill our croc now. Man! This has just been a land disaster. No attacks. And we need to draw something. Because now they just get in with the Rager and yep. Yes, sirree, Bob. Does he have trample? My goodness, I don't. Get this thing right here. 1 damage to this person. This little trinket. Well, it blocks well at least. So, no counters on it, but it blocks. And we do not have any planeswalkers that tick up, so sadly we haven't seen Bioessence Hydra in the right order. We've always seen like our Bioessence Hydra before planeswalkers, or just a little bit too late in the game where planeswalkers have already died. Exhibit A. But it blocks, keeps us alive. Red Black has a ton of removal though. There's an example of it, but it does draw us 2 cards. So, do they tick down on their own creatures to draw more value, or do they kill our Bioessence Hydra and turn the team sideways? It's interesting. If they have more removal spells in their deck, they probably choose their own creature, but if they're worried and they feel as though they need to race a bit, then they'll probably kill our Hydra. They're thinking about it. Yep. No, that's cool at least. Yep. Makes our Boreal Grazers a lot better. Nice. Okay. That doesn't do much for us right now, but we play Huatli here.
I shall wield them.
And we'll save this. Worth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they can kill Huatli here, but Huatli gains us life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we turn this into 1-1, they can still do 7. So Huatli can still die, but we'll gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But we'll gain 7 life out of it instead of 3. So no effects. Huatli, you helped me kill their planeswalkers. Good work. Good job, Huatli. Gaining me 7 life, killing their walkers, 3 mana. What more can you ask for? Can't imagine that they would ignore Huatli here and just swing in. Yeah. And they get in with all of them, so we gain 8 because they think that we might have removal or something. Okay, they just leave one guy. But oh, nope, they still get in. Is this guy coming at me now? Wish we had removal. Sadly, we do not. So we will take 1 here. 3 mana, gain 7 life, kill 2 planeswalkers. That's why she's good.
Every loss.
But now we're back to needing to draw something. And taking 4 a turn. Aid the Fallen would be a legendary draw. They have their Aid the Fallen. No! That's too good! Rank. Very rank. And then we just keep drawing lands. Oh, that's rough. Oh, that's rough. Yep. They drew their Aid the Fallen first. This is going to be very difficult to win from here. Very difficult indeed. Even Ashiok doesn't seem to do much here. We'll keep our life as high as possible here. Keep our blockers. They're going to get a counter on this Death Touch Assassin. Man. Flooded out. Wow. Nail in the coffin. Well, that's something at least. It is what I'd call a tricky trick. We aren't dead, but we're dead. And another Omnixilus. Oh my goodness. Wow. They kill our Grazer here? Okay, let's think for a second here. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have 14 damage Xaxes here. We make a 1/1. We go to 1, kill a Thingamajigger. We get to draw 2 cards. Is the 2 cards that we draw able to get us out of this? I don't think so. But 2 draws here is better than 1. Oh yeah. Oh man. Oh well. Yeah, there was nothing much we could do there. So GG's to our opponent there. We would have drawn Ashiok the following turn, dropped down, so either way we were dead. Deadly dead 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 dead. Deady dead 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 dead. And now we draw 1 card and die. Alright. Well, it happens, you know? You don't always have fantastic leagues, and this was an example of what I would consider bad variance. But that is that. We ended up going 2 and 3, so it's a pretty quick video. Nothing terribly long here. Thank you guys for watching. Please take a second here to check out the description box. It's in there that I post information about my other medias, so take a second, check those out. I stream on Twitch every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time, and we go pretty late. Every now and then I'll stream until 8 p.m. just because I have to get up early the next day, but usually I stream from 6 till around midnight. Until this season ends on Arena, we'll be doing a whole bunch of drafts. So definitely go check me out. Link in the description for that. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a wonderful night.